Hi everyone, I'm Zikonam Da. On behalf of the City of Cape Town, I wish to invite you on a journey towards responsible management of our building and demolition waste. Did you know the disposal of building and demolition waste is one of Cape Town's biggest waste challenges? During this program, we will highlight some challenges, but we'll also present some exciting new opportunities. Building and demolition waste includes unwanted items such as concrete and stone pieces, which can be crushed and reused in building; bricks, which can be cleaned and reused or sometimes also crushed; soil and sand, which can be sieved and reused; door and window frames, which can be reused if in good condition; metal reinforcement or rebar, which can be taken to a scrap metal dealer; tiles or ceramics, such as basins, baths or toilets, which could be reused. However, in Cape Town, the value of building and demolition waste is often not seen, and people are not benefiting from it. Rather, it becomes a huge liability and poses significant challenges for the city. The first challenge is that building and demolition waste is often illegally dumped throughout Cape Town and costs the city and you as ratepayers an average of 115 million rand per year to dispose of it. In addition, the municipality spends about 270 million rand per year to clear blockages caused by the dumping of inappropriate material into the sewer systems. Illegally dumped building and demolition waste not only spoils the beauty of an area, but can be hazardous to the residents, especially if materials like asbestos are dumped. Finally, illegal dumping sites often attract additional dumping. Building and demolition waste also creates challenges for the city's landfill sites. Firstly, it can't be reused if it's contaminated by cement bags, organics, timber, and plastics not being removed at source, resulting in building and demolition waste filling up the landfills. A second concern is that the city's landfill sites have a remaining lifespan of approximately 10 years. Once they have reached their capacity, the city will need to open new landfill sites, which will be much further away, thus increasing waste disposal costs considerably. But the good news is that there are also opportunities and a positive way forward. This initiative is to inform existing and potential new industry stakeholders of the importance of managing your building and demolition waste responsibly. Firstly, we would like to assist you to be compliant with the city's integrated waste management bylaw by becoming an accredited waste service provider. If you are a large or small business, entrepreneur, or community co-op who collects, transports, stores, or processes building and demolition waste for others, you need to be accredited. There are many benefits to being accredited. Firstly, you will increase your business opportunities and exposure, as your company details will be included on the city's accreditation database. It will enable your company to apply for government tenders in Cape Town, pending your registration as a city vendor. The approval of certain building plan applications requires an accredited service provider for building and demolition waste management. You can then provide your services to these developers. Lastly, by being compliant, you will also avoid the penalties and fines for not being accredited. As a developer, certain building plan applications need an integrated waste management plan. It gives me great pleasure to welcome Lenise Hesselman from the Solid Waste Management Department into studio to tell us more. Lenise, welcome. It's wonderful to have you here today. First off, when do property developers need to complete a waste management plan to obtain city building plan approval?
All demolition applications require a waste management plan. Secondly, any building plan with an architectural area of 500 square meters or more also require one.
How does this process actually work?
The applicant needs to complete an integrated waste management plan for building waste generators form before any building or demolition takes place. Then after the building or demolition is completed, the confirmation of waste disposal form, supplemented by all disposal weighbridge slips or delivery notes, needs to be submitted as proof of responsible waste management. This needs to be submitted in order to receive your occupancy certificate for the property development.
Now, how long does this process typically take?
It usually takes up to 7 calendar days.
And what information should be included in the initial IWM plan form?
The form includes contact details, the type of building or demolition work to be done, a breakdown of certain types of waste produced by the building operation. Next, you need to describe how you will manage the waste. For example, sorting, storage, transport, and you also need to give details of your accredited waste contractor. The form focuses on how you plan to divert parts of your waste from landfill.
Lenise, thank you so much for your valuable input. It's been great having you here in studio. From March 2018, the city took an important step to ensure that the value of some of the building and demolition waste is realized at our landfill sites. A tender was advertised and contract awarded to install and manage a mobile crushing facility that can work at our current landfill sites, receiving building and demolition waste. I now welcome Margot Ledouche, Manager for Solid Waste Disposal, into studio to talk about this new opportunity. Margot, a very warm welcome to you. So, this initiative is part of a larger recycling of waste drive by the city.
Exactly. We want to see all components of building and demolition waste being recycled, but our current focus is on the masonry elements, including concrete, mortar, brick, excavated natural stone and sand, commonly known in the industry as builder's rubble.
Tell me more.
Well, clean builder's rubble, that means a delivery where the load is not contaminated by other types of can be crushed and then sold for various secondary uses, except for the sand portion, which doesn't require crushing but can be served and also sold into the building industry.
Where can these deliveries take place?
Clean builder's rubble can be delivered to all 3 of our landfill sites, as well as to several accredited independent crushing companies.
Now tell me, what are the advantages of separating builder's rubble at source for waste removal contractors?
Firstly, the disposal of clean builder's rubble at city landfill sites attracts a much lower disposal tariff fee. It typically costs less than 50 Rand per metric ton versus over 550 Rand per ton for an unclean mixed load at landfill.
Wow, that's quite a significant cost saving. Are there advantages for the waste contractors to separate their clean builder's rubble from the rest of their building and demolition waste and deliver this to the accredited crushing companies?
Yes, because the accredited independent crushing companies generally won't accept contaminated building and demolition waste, but only clean builder's rubble. Also, because of the geographic location of the accredited independent crushing companies, transport costs can be significantly less than travelling to an outlying city landfill site. The city therefore encourages waste contractors to explore delivery of their clean builder's rubble to these accredited crushing companies.
Well, there you have it. Thank you, Margot, for your expertise and input. The city also partners with Green Cape, who work with the industry to stimulate the green economy. Kirsten Barnes is the building and demolition waste expert at Green Cape. Let's hear what she has to say about the hidden gold inside your builder's rubble. Welcome, Kirsten. What are some of the most exciting things happening to turn builder's rubble into valuable materials?
I think what has been the most exciting is to find out that Cape Town is already using around half of the crushed builder's rubble that is made in our city. When we first started looking at builder's rubble, many people told us the stuff is rubbish, and we found exactly the opposite.
So how is it being used then?
This rubbish is now being used in some roads on private properties as the stone in foundations, to create foundations for fencing, and as fill material. For some uses, contractors actually tell us that the material from crushed builder's rubble works better than the material from quarries and sand mines.
Are there other opportunities where it can be used?
Yes, definitely. We are very excited to be working with City of Cape Town Roads, as well as Sunrail, University of Stellenbosch Civil Engineering, the Concrete Institute, as well as private sector experts to get crushed builder's rubble products accepted by the roads industry. This is by far the biggest opportunity.
Can you tell us about some specific building projects where recycled builder's rubble is used?
We do have some great case studies which show that not only do the stone and sand products crushed from clean builder's rubble work well in construction, but that it can save money on the cost of materials.
Can you perhaps give our viewers an example from one case study?
We have a very good example in the building of the expansion to the Woolworths Distribution Centre in Montague Gardens. A few buildings on site had to be knocked down. The contractors reused 90% of this demolition material from those buildings into the new build on site and into other local construction projects. The cost savings related to this was around 64,000 Rand in fuel that relates to the transport to landfill, and over R500,000 in the cost of buying virgin building materials across all sites where the recycled materials were used.
Wow, that is incredible. Thank you, Kirsten. You make a compelling case for builders and construction companies to include this as part of their business plan. I'm sure you'll agree there are such impressive things happening with what we thought was waste. We hope you are as inspired as we are at the City of Cape Town. Here are some contact details for the topics we have covered in this video.